channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. So, I want to talk to you about booking a hotel room because sometimes we're so focused on the cruise that we totally forget about the hotel. The main thing that I realize is there are a lot of things that I actually look for when you're searching for a hotel room. And so everyone's worried about the excursions and the ports and what are you going to be doing and what's available on sea day and my dining and all that stuff on the ship. And then you're just like, oh my gosh, I got to book that hotel. It's kind of the afterthought for a lot of people, especially new cruisers. And one of the biggest things that I will tell you is that the hotels know that cruises are coming, especially in the obviously Florida area, but in other areas, and they're actually going to be, I think, and this is pretty much any hotel in a lot of different spaces, especially weekends and stuff like that. If you book your hotel closer to the date, the hotel rate will be higher. And that is almost a given. And I have seen this a lot of different ways. And I've booked hotels a lot of times. I'm not like a world traveler or anything. I'm not like a traveler for work that's gone every week or every day. So, because a lot of those are actually spur of the moment where they have to pay it no matter what. But if you're able to plan, book your hotel early enough. And I've even booked my hotel knowing I was going to go out of a certain port. I may even done that in 2 different cities just to hold the hotel rate. And then when I booked the actual cruise, I actually would release one. I mean, I'm not totally like horrible because you will get charged if you have one of those special rates where you could get charged if you don't show up. So you got to make sure you also cancel them. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get the best rate. And so I always book them rather early. But I do have specifics on what I want in a hotel room. So the first thing I actually will look for is they got to have Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi. I want to have Wi-Fi. There's things I gotta get to. Sometimes I still have like a little bit of work responsibilities. Sometimes it's like just easy to get on social media, having access. There are some where you can get like a little bit more of a higher speed, I think is what it is, and you pay a little bit, like $5 or so. I've never really had to do that, and I've been fine. Next. I'm a breakfast girl, so I want free breakfast. So I will look for free breakfast. Now, sometimes if you have a hotel room that provides breakfast for a fee of some sort, but is a really good rate, sometimes it'll balance out. But I really just like having the convenience of having the breakfast there. And so my go-to ones have been Holiday Inn Express and Hampton Inn. Best Westerns, like some is a hit and miss with that one. And then I've also used Days Inn, which actually is not bad either. And then this last time I went to Home to Suites, which actually was pretty good. They're kind of more like grab and go, grab, heat it, go kind of containers type things. Not full on like plates and things like that, but I mean it was okay. It was included. And I got a good rate. So, there. The next I'll look for is location. So, location for me is a big deal. It depends on what's happening. So, when you're thinking about it, if I get in really late from a flight, I'm not going to want to travel 45 minutes or whatever to my actual hotel. Which I have actually, that has occurred. It wasn't too late though, it was like 8 o'clock, but if it's like 11 o'clock at night or something like that, I just don't want to do that. I would rather just find a hotel kind of close to the airport, get there, crash out, be rested, ready to go, rather than driving 45 minutes, staying awake even longer, getting your hotel. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot. So think about that when you're traveling, the time your flight comes in and all that. if I have time, like if I get in early, then I definitely want to be close to the port, or maybe some downtown areas, and maybe hub areas where I can walk around and do things the next day before getting on the ship. So that is always a plus as well. Oh, all right. Next, free parking. There are a lot of hotels now are going towards where they're charging for parking, some up to 25 bucks a day. And if you want to be there a couple days before your cruise or after your cruise, that can add up. So when you're balancing out the rates, just think if I'm paying $100 a night and then $25 a day for parking, you know, that ends up being $125 a day rather than just $100 a day. So then you could compare that to other ones that include parking. So you have a budget. I have a budget. I don't know if you have a budget, but I have a budget. And so I like to balance that out and see what is there, you know, how it balances out. So I'll actually make a spreadsheet and say, this hotel has this hotel has that. And if parking isn't one of them, then I'll usually see if the rate is way less. But I prefer to have that included. All right, next. Okay, airport shuttle. I really love an airport shuttle. And if you did not see my last, maybe not my last, but near my last NCL Epic video, where after I got off the ship, I had actually booked a hotel, and on their website it said airport shuttle, which wasn't true. I noticed that probably like within a week that was taken off their website. They actually did not have an airport shuttle. So my thing is that I now call and say, do you have an airport shuttle? And if they have an airport shuttle, I am good to go with that, because I prefer just to use the hotel. I figure they have already vetted their drivers and stuff, and that's great. And I'm not really like a Lyft, Uber girl. I have used Lyft. Lyft is my thing. I don't use Uber at all. That's another story. But I have used Lyft. I've had some great drivers with Lyft, thank God. But there are those, you know, stories. And so you guys have to always think about those things of who you're getting in the car with, right? And so having the airport shuttles is what I prefer. I have used primarily Lyft just to get from the hotel to the port. I have used once the airport or the cruise transfer, and that was only when I was in Europe, because I just felt safer doing that. I was by myself. Yeah. All right. So another thing I look for is to make sure that they have a hairdryer. Now, when I was in my 20s or my teens, this hair needed some power tools to get it dry. I would be there with what they provide now, it'd probably take me about an hour, hour and a half to dry my hair. So now, as I've gotten older, this hair has gotten a lot thinner, and so I don't need as powerful of a instrument to use on this hair. So any hair dryer pretty much work on my hair, and it dry it just fine. I don't have an issue with it. People like to bring their hair dryer, but any little extra space in my suitcase, I prefer just to keep it as light as possible. So that's just my preference. To each its own on that one. That's a personal preference. All right. The other thing is that if I know I'm going to be there a couple days, I will check to see if it has a pool. Yeah. I love to swim, and I had a pool for many, many, many years, and I haven't had a pool, like a in-ground pool. I've had above-ground pools for a few years now, but I haven't had an in-ground pool for a while. And so anytime I see a pool, I just love to swim. I'm a big swimmer. I just love it, and I've missed it for a long time. And so anytime I can get in a pool, I'm going to get in a pool. So that's just a personal preference. It's like last on the list. But if it's there, I'm going to use it, and I will bring a bathing suit. So like that one night that I was in LA a couple weeks ago, yeah, I brought my bathing suit. All right. The last thing, which is not a deal breaker, definitely not a deal breaker, but actually is very much I love having, is having a refrigerator and a microwave in the room. Or a microwave at least in the building down by the kitchen or something. It's available for use. I love having a refrigerator in the room. I like my drinks kind of cold. I like to have my own water and stuff like that. I just like having everything there where I'm not like going and searching for it or getting like 5 little glasses from the kitchen area or whatever. I just like having it there. So that makes it very convenient to be able to keep it in there. Also have to take some medicine and stuff a couple times a day, and so having just the accessibility right there is nice. So I prefer having the refrigerator in the room. If it's not available, then at least an ice bucket, right? I noticed that some of them have gone away with some of those items. I had one Holiday Inn Express actually say they were in the room, and only the refrigerator was in the room, but the microwave wasn't. And we just called them and they just brought a microwave up. So it actually worked out okay. So I guess if you just ask, right? Ask. All right. Let me know if there's anything that you agree with, disagree with, or anything that you look for specifically for in a hotel when you're booking them. If you like this video, give it a little like and don't forget to subscribe. Take care and have a great day.